Keeping your records clean is one of the most important aspects of owning a record collection, particularly if you buy a lot of used records. So if we want our records to A, sound their best, B, last a long time, and C, not damage our stylus as we play them, we need to keep our records as clean as possible. And to do this, you need the best possible tools. You need the most appropriate tools, the most effective tools to get the job done quickly. So in this video, we explore the top record cleaning tools that I think every vinyl enthusiast should aspire to own. Let's get straight into it. One on the list is a carbon fibre record brush like this Audio Quest one that I have here, and this really is the bare bones of what any record collector must own to keep dust in check and keep your records clean for the long term. I talk about this a lot, but if you don't have one of these, I recommend you change that straight away, and you should really, as a best practice, use this brush before and after you play back each side to keep dust in check, stop it building up on the stylus and stop it being ploughed into the record surface. By using this on a daily basis, you're going to greatly reduce the amount of wet cleaning or any other cleaning process for that matter that you're going to have to do in terms of your record. So this is a day-to-day thing that you absolutely should do to reduce everything else that we may have to do further down the line. Now, there is a best practice way to use one of these brushes, so if you'd like to learn more about that, then please check out the other video linked in the top corner of this video right here. Next on the list is a record cleaning fluid and a wet record cleaning kit of some variety, because as great as a carbon fibre record brush is for keeping loose and dry dust in check on a day-to-day basis, it is not going to clean out fingerprints or any stubborn oil and grime that might build up on the record surface over time. So if you buy used records, of course, you're going to want to give them a clean before you spin them, and actually you should clean new records as well in an ideal world before they hit your turntable straight away. But either way, you are going to at some point need some sort of wet cleaning process, and the most accessible way to do this, of course, is with a record cleaning kit. If you follow this channel, you're going to know that my favourite record cleaning fluid is the stuff made by Groove Washer. It's very well made, very well tested, but it's also very gentle on your records. And the best place to start with Groove Washer, of course, if you've not done so already, is with their baseline G2 formula. It's their all-purpose, day-to-day, single-step record cleaning fluid, so it makes it really quick and really simple to clean your records. And I also recommend you pair it with one of their beautiful solid walnut handled cleaning pads like this one here. If you'd like to try it out for yourself, if you've not already done so, then you can do so for 10% less using the discount code in the description of this video, and by using this code I get a small commission, so you'll be helping to support this channel in the process. As I say, I use this myself day to day, and I really do highly recommend their fluids. Next up is the MILTY Zero Stat. Now, this might look like a ridiculous child's toy, but it's actually a very serious bit of record cleaning kit, and you should absolutely get one of these, particularly if you live in a very dry climate where static build-up on your records can become a real day-to-day pest. Beyond the general measures of correct record storage in, say, anti-static record sleeves and occasional wet cleaning of your records to neutralise the static on the surface of that record. Now, if that becomes a day-to-day thing for you, if you're constantly getting statically charged records because of the environment that they're in, then I recommend you invest in one of these to reduce the wet cleaning that you have to do, because you don't want to wet clean a record unnecessarily. That wants to be a occasional thing that you do when you have the need to actually clean dirt and dust that's built up over maybe some fingerprints that have built up on the record surface. We don't want to be doing that any more than we have to, because we want to protect the record, minimize the contact with the record grooves as much as possible. So this is basically a zero contact way of neutralizing static on the record. And the way that it works, it seems like witchcraft, is you gently squeeze the trigger and then you release the trigger, pointing it at the record. That releases positive and negative ions, and it neutralizes the static across the surface of the record. I particularly like how it says keep out of reach of children on here, but it does really work, and they last a very long time. It's an absolute must, particularly if static build-up is a day-to-day build-up and a pest for you where you live. Next up is some sort of stylus cleaning kit, because no matter how religious and how well versed we are in keeping our records cleaned and storing them correctly, we are occasionally going to get some dust and grime build up on the stylus surface. That's just the way it is. It's just a fact of a physical medium like vinyl, and we don't want this on the stylus surface, because despite being made from diamond, which is the hardest surface known to man, by the way, the stylus will eventually degrade, will wear down and flatten in places, and that will degrade the performance and potentially damage your records. Now, if we've got lots of dirt and grime and dust on that stylus, it's going to exacerbate and speed up that wearing process. So we want to keep the stylus as clean as possible, and the best way to do that is by using a stylus cleaning kit. Now, because I trust Groove Washer's cleaning fluids, because I trust that they're well researched and thought out, I use their stylus cleaning kit. But whatever you do, you need to have some sort of stylus cleaning kit in your arsenal on a day-to-day basis to keep your stylus clean and to keep that gunk away from your records and to extend the life of your stylus as well. So I recommend that you pick one of those up if you don't already own one. Doing it dry only goes so far, I find. There are gel-based products out there as well, but I don't personally recommend those, because there have been some kind of bits of research recently by people like Michael Freeman, for example, from Analog Planets, that have revealed the potential for the residue to kind of build up from these gel-based products onto the stylus surface, and that's just as bad, really, is it not? That's just as bad as having loads of dust and grime on the stylus, so this sort of defeats the object. My preference personally is to a well-researched cleaning fluid and a nice soft brush, so that we pull from back to front and don't damage the stylus shank in the process. Next up is a record cleaning machine. If you can afford one, it will greatly help the output of your record cleaning endeavours. So I have the Project VCE, which is this machine that I keep behind me here. It's a compact vacuum-based record cleaning machine, and I think particularly if you're cleaning a lot of records in one sitting, you're really going to benefit from owning some sort of record cleaning machine, which will take away some of the manual process for you. But not only that, because you're physically sucking the contaminated record cleaning fluid away from the record surface rather than using a pad or a brush to clean the record instead, you're greatly going to reduce the risk of contaminating dirt from one record to the next. So they're an important part of your record cleaning arsenal. Admittedly, they do cost a fair amount of money up front, but I think you'll thank yourself in the long term, because it will greatly improve the results. If your budget won't stretch to a vacuum-based record cleaning machine, then you can start out with one of these, like a SPINCLEAN record washer. That's how I started out, and they will still greatly reduce the workload when you're cleaning a whole bunch of records in one sitting. They're a manual-based record cleaning bath where you essentially spin the record round in a bath. There's some brushes for contact point, and you apply the record cleaning fluid within the basin using distilled water. So you can clean a lot of records in one sitting very quickly using this method, and they're highly affordable. So that's a great place to start if stretching your budget to a purpose-made, vacuum-based record cleaning machine is just too expensive at this point, which is completely understandable. And you can maybe upgrade this further down the line, but I think if you buy a lot of used records from your local record store, these are still a great investment to greatly improve the productivity and the output of your cleaning process. Because if you have to do, say, 50 records in one sitting, that could be very laborious and quite difficult to do by hand using the manual cleaning methods, and you would have to replace the saturated towel, the microfiber towel, very, very regularly, because otherwise the effectiveness of manual cleaning goes down greatly once those towels become completely saturated, and also you risk contaminating from one record to the next far greater than you would with a SPINCLEAN record washer. So if you'd like to get started batch cleaning a lot of records, I can still highly recommend it. As I say, that's how I started out, and you can always upgrade further down the line. Another type of record cleaning machine that you should absolutely aspire to own if you can afford to do so is an ultrasonic record cleaning machine. Now, the cavitation process that creates those tiny little cavitation bubbles in the ultrasonic record cleaning machines is perfect for getting deep down into record grooves where perhaps it's more difficult to get there in terms of traditional brush-based or vacuum-based record cleaning methods. So it's absolutely part of the mix and something that is considered as part of deep cleaning very dirty used records. Now, unfortunately, ultrasonic is traditionally very expensive to get into, but there have been a lot of attempts recently at bringing the cost down, making it more accessible. One such example is the Guru ultrasonic record cleaning machine, which I've just finished reviewing. I recommend you check out the full review to see how I got on. I found that it worked pretty well, but I did find the results were improved by having a bit of a pre-clean process, first on a surface level before doing that deep clean using cavitation in the Guru machine. Check it out for yourself. Now, if the thought of splashing out tons of cash on a purpose-made record cleaning machine kind of fills you with dread or just seems completely out of reach for you, then fear not. There are ways we can improve our manual cleaning record process by varying up the record cleaning pads that we have. So different types of pads will have different effects and have different applications and purposes in terms of cleaning our records. So traditionally we'd just use a standard microfiber towel, either like this groove washer one here that's on a nice little walnut handle, or just a regular microfiber towel that we use to clean our records, whichever one you use. Microfiber towels are kind of the standard in terms of cleaning records by hand, and they're very good, and the reason they're widely used is because they're incredibly absorbent and they work incredibly well. So, you know, they're absolutely perfect for our day-to-day record cleaning. They're very absorbent, so we have our record cleaning fluid, which does the hard work. All those emulsifiers and surfactants do a great job of holding all that dirt in suspension, and then a microfiber towel that's incredibly absorbent takes all that dirt and grime and everything that's held in suspension away from the record surface. What they're not so good at is an actual kind of mechanical kind of cleaning process, and this is where more fine bristled brushes such as this one here, this is the Black Magic fiber towel from Groove Washer, and these are very, very fine little fibers that are on there that lock into the grooves, and it has more of a mechanical rubbing or cleaning process on the record surface. If you find that regular just cleaning fluid and microfiber towels isn't bringing up stubborn dirt and grime from the record surface, then it's well worth trying a more mechanical cleaning base brush such as this one here. You may find with very dirty records and stubborn patches on your records that this will loosen up some of that stuff so that the record cleaning fluids can go to town and do its job properly. So that concludes the list of the top record cleaning tools. All that's left to add, of course, is that you should absolutely return these clean records once you're finished with any cleaning process to a brand new, clean inner sleeve. Don't return these records to a dirty old sleeve and undo all your hard work. All the products that I've mentioned are linked in the description below, and of course anything Groove Washer related can have that 10% discount code applied. If you think I've missed out a record cleaning tool that you would like to recommend to the wider vinyl community, please do let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you, and I'm sure all of the rest of the viewers would love to hear your recommendations as well. And if you're new to this channel, please do consider subscribing, and we'll see you in that next one. Thank you ever so much for your support. Keep spinning.